big bag.
Art.
Art, all right, nice.
We have to
What's that?
we have to like paint on a different surface than paper, so that's
So
what the
you're painting on
pants are built.
pants.
Oh.
All right. Good job. See ya. Good job, Jake. Thank you. Go ahead, Megan. Talk to me.
Okay, so for me, I was like, well, because you're supposed to do like the limit of just a little below 3 and the limit of a little bit above 3.
Let's pause for one moment.
Okay.
I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you just tell me. But I think you're missing a big tool that I find to be super helpful on the AP test.
Okay.
It's what I call the limit flashcard. You have the limit flashcard.
I have it, but I don't have it listed.
Do you know what the limit flashcard says? So, to me, if you had remembered what the limit flashcard says, you wouldn't have gotten stuck.
Okay.
So the limit, it's no big deal, just gotta get it memorized.
Yeah.
The limit flashcard says, when finding a limit, first identify if x is approaching positive or negative infinity. It's not.
Yeah.
If it were, we would want to be comparing terms, okay? Terms that add, Since it's not, item 2 on the limit flashcard says you want to factor and divide if possible. So that's what I would have hoped you would have said is factor. So we want to take this limit and create an equivalent limit. Hence, we've got to write equal. But what would the new limit, like what would go here if we factor that? Let me help you because it's taking too long. The top is a quadratic. Do you recognize it as a quadratic?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
so you'd have to do that.
So quadratics on the AP test, not always, but nearly always will factor.
That's fine.
So are you fast at factoring that, or would it help if I help you?
I mean, I'm not that fast.
Let's do it a fast way then, is that okay?
Yeah.
So the fast way is to simply ask, what times what is that?
X.
So you knew that. Now skip and go right to the end, and don't worry about positives and negatives. What multiplies to make 6?
3 and 2.
And now what you want to do is write over here off to the side so the grader knows it's scratch work. You want to multiply this out. I know this seems a little long, but I found this way to be foolproof. Like you can always factor, it never fails you, you don't make mistakes, so I think it's a really good way. So multiply that out, what are you going to get?
X squared,
Now we don't have any plus or minus, so don't worry about it.
and then 6. Or would you do
Oh, you got to do
3x.
this times this, 3x.
3x, 2x,
There we go.
and then 6.
Perfect. Now what you want to do is you want to put in pluses and minuses so that we end up with this.
So it would be minus and plus.
So tell me what you write.
Minus 3 plus equals negative 6.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay, and again, if you don't like this method, that's okay, but I found this to be a very good method.
Yeah.
So you good there?
Mm-hmm.
So now you come back here and you've got to make this work as well. Like all 3 of these have to be the same thing. So where do I put plus and minus here?
Do x plus 3, x minus
If I put a plus
2.
here,
Oh, I mean x minus 3, x plus.
there we go. You good with that?
Yeah.
How does the bottom factor?
That's x plus 3 and x minus
So I didn't have Zach. I didn't know if you were interested in this or not, Zach. So, yeah, you did ask about it. So are you good to there?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean by the limit flashcard?
I think so. I didn't get the flashcard. So
No worries. So just, you have one? Do you need one?
I don't think I got it.
Oh, you have it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what you should be saying is this. Now you want to be thinking what limit means. It's never do, like we want to stay away from steps as much as we can.
Yeah.
So we want to do what you were thinking, Megan. We want to think of x as being very close to 3, but not quite, like a little more, a little less. Well, this right here is very important. I need both of you to know the slogan of that thing.
Equals 1.
That is equal to 1 except
If x equals 3.
except if x equals 3. If x equals 3, what will the blue box equal? 0 divided by 0, which is undefined. Are we concerned about the exception in this problem, yes or no?
No,
Why
because
not?
we're never going to be 3. We're either going to be less or over.
Yeah, that was perfect. Because we're finding a limit, we don't have to worry about the exception. We can simply consider the blue box to be 1. So if this is equal to 1, 1 times whatever remains is just whatever remains. So Zach, if x is a little more or a little less than 3, finding a limit means finding the value of this formula when x is a little more or a little less than 3. What will be the value of the green formula when x is a little more or a little less than 3?
So it'd be 5 over 6.
Perfect. That's what it means to find the limit. And the limit flashcard is just a tool to help you unravel what seems to be unravelable, kind of thing. So, I don't know if that helped you
No,
or
that
you
does.
know.
'Cause I always forget to do factoring, and then I'm stuck there.
Yeah, you want to have that flashcard. First thing, if x is approaching positive or negative infinity, I don't want to factor. I want to compare. I want to compare terms, identify what's dominant, create a new limit problem based on that. Next thing I want to do in either case is look to see if I can spread it out as factors and identify these special factors that equal 1. That's really the whole idea.
So I think one thing, I kind of took a shortcut which led me to get the wrong answer. I forgot to factor on top. And what I did, since it's x squared over x squared, like I divided that to 1 and then plugged in the limit as x approaches 3 for x on the top. And that equals 1, but that's not correct. So you always need to factor first before you divide like terms, right?
Right. The thing to remember is we're only going to divide factors. So because you were dividing terms, illegal. Yeah, just completely wrong, unfortunately. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good work. Anything else here before I stop the recording?
No,
Okay.
yeah.